All right, everyone, we'll just go ahead and get started here. I'd like to thank you for joining today's webinar. This is our series that we call Webinar Wednesdays, where we cover different topics to help you improve your app building techniques and processes. Today's topic is app icon creation and assets. Today we'll walk you through creating your app icons, the splash screen, and the background images for your apps. And my name is Anthony. I'm the Client Success Specialist here, and today Tony, our UI and Product Specialist, will actually walk you through all of these different steps to create your different app assets. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Tony.
Hello everyone, Tony here from MobileSmith, UI and Product Specialist. So as Anthony said, we'll be going over app icon creation, background, and splash images. So I'll just go ahead and jump right in and open up Photoshop. The first thing I'll do, if I have all my graphics ready, is go ahead and create a new file. As you can see here, go to File, New, to create a new Photoshop document. I want this document to be 640 pixels by 1136. Right now, that's the optimized size for the MobileSmith platform to use for background and splash images. So I'll go ahead and create a new file, size it appropriately, and give it a name. So for this instance here, I've already got something created, so I'll open that up and show you the example. So as you can see here, I've got my app created. There we go. I've got my app created. I've got a nice landing page designed, ready to go. In our last webinar, we talked about slicing up the home canvas in Photoshop and exporting those images. But now for this webinar, we'll go ahead and save the splash and background images. So as you can see, I've got a couple folders here laid out as home and then splash. So I'm going to show you the splash page and what that looks like. So this is optimized for the iPhone 5. I always like to set my resolution for my photo or for my apps so a little bit higher resolution, so they'll stretch nicely to different phone sizes. So as you can see here, I've got it all designed out and ready to save my splash and background images. So once you're ready, you can go ahead, if you're on a Mac, hit Command-Option-Shift-S, which will bring up Save for Web. And you'll get an interface with a couple options. We always recommend, one second. We always recommend using PNG files for the platform. They just work better, and they're better optimized for mobile. So I will go ahead and save it. And I would like to save it or name it something that I can remember. And I'll use i5 for the iPhone 5. Let that save. And I'll go back to my document. And then the next thing I want to do is save for the iPhone 4 size, which is 640 by 960. So you could easily change the size of the canvas by hitting Command-Option-C and changing the height to 960, which is optimized for the iPhone 4. And as you can see, I can go ahead and save for web again. label that I4. So my splash screens are done. And for this app, I wanted to use the same background for the splash and background images. So in this case, I'll just unhide the logo here, and I've got a background image. I can save it for the iPhone 4 since we're already at that size. We'll do background I4. And then the last one would be to save it for iPhone 5. So I'll go back to my iPhone 5 size, hide the logo again, and save for web again. iPhone 5. So now I have 4 images, and I can go ahead and get ready and upload them to the platform so you can log in. Go to your app, and then from here we can go to app stores and then phone settings. This will allow you to upload your app icons and loading images and background images. So this is assuming that you've already created your app in the platform and you want to go back in now and upload your assets. So we could do that by clicking Add and then navigating to the file. And doing that for all of the options. And then hit save. So that is creating, saving, and uploading or loading or splash images and background images. And you can always get a little preview if you click the link. It'll open up in a new window in your browser. You can preview what you just uploaded. So moving on to your app icon, just a little information before we get started in your app icon. You know, a lot of people take the app icon as an afterthought, and really it should be one of the most important things about your app. As you know from using apps, it's the first thing people see when they open it up, you know, on their phone or install the app on your phone. The first thing they see is the app icon. So definitely give it some thought. You know, try a couple different options. You know, maybe ask a few people, you know, what they think of your app icon, and you know, adjust it and tweak it to how you like it. But just keep in mind, you know, making it a priority for your app is very important. So jumping right back into Photoshop, I can open up an app I've already created or an app icon I've already created. And I always start at 1024, the largest app icon size, which is an iOS icon you'll need for the App Store for Apple. So as you can see here, I have my app icon set to a 1024 pixel square size. Another little bit of information about all iOS app icons are that they will automatically be rounded off. So the best practices for designing your app icon, creating it for iOS, is creating it as a square, and just knowing that the edges will be rounded off automatically. That is something that Apple does, and it is unnecessary to do it in your actual design in Photoshop. So go ahead from here and start saving them for all different sizes. And then if you want it round it off, so for iOS, Then around it, and for Android, there'll be a square icon. So that's just to keep that in creating your app icon. So from here, we can go ahead and do Save for Web again. We'll save it as our 1024. The next size down, I always like to work from large to small, so the next size down would be the Android 512, and that's the Android large icon. So we'll go ahead and save that. And what I'm doing to get these scaled nicely is hitting Command-Option I on Mac to change the image size. So it scales it down proportionally. Here you can see the link connected here, so it's scaling it proportionally. The next size down will be the new iPhone 6, 180 pixels. So go ahead and save that. And the next size down would be 120 for iPhone 5. And 14. Now I'm getting into my Android sizes, 96. It's always helpful if you're just starting out in Photoshop and learning it to maybe have a list of all the different sizes that you can use as a cheat sheet. And my last one is 36 for Android. There. So if we want to take a look at the files, the images we just created, you can see that I've got all of them ready for the phone sizes. And I can go ahead and go back to the platform now and upload it. And in the platform, it gives you every size that we require. They're all mandatory in order to submit the app to the stores. So if you ever need to reference back to what size they need to be, you can come into the platform and check that out. And again, for these app icons, we'll want to use PNG files. They're what is optimized best for the platform. And so once you've uploaded all your different sizes, you can go ahead and hit save. And for creating assets for the phone, for the phone, we're done. And you can always, like I said before, you can check to see what you've uploaded by clicking that link and open a new browser window. You can take a look at what you just uploaded. From here, we can go ahead and field some questions.
If you guys have any questions, please do type it in the question box there on the right-hand side pop-up for the webinar. Okay, so we have a question here that's asking about uploading the assets for iPad.
Good question. So the app I have right now that we're looking at isn't optimized for iPad, but for the purposes of this webinar, we'll go ahead and create it. And as you can see here in the platform, you have a phone settings and iPad settings section in app stores. So we went over the phone settings, and we'll go to iPad settings in order to upload the appropriate images, the loading and background images and icon images for the iPad. So the same structure applies when saving our app icon. So we'll go back and use as reference the largest iPad app icon would be 152 pixels. So we'll go back and size it for that. Save it. The next size down would be 144. And then 76. And that's it. The 72 would be already optimized. We did that for the phone version. So we can go ahead and start uploading those. Okay, so I've got my app icons uploaded for my iPad. The loading and background images are a little different. Obviously they're formatted to a different size. So we'll go back to Photoshop, and I'll create a new document. And I'll size it. The width of your iPad is 2,048 pixels wide by 1,536 pixels tall. And again, I always like to work at a little bit higher resolution, even though it might not be necessary on an iPad. It's always nice just in case. So I go ahead and that is my size for my iPad. I don't have an example for this, but I will just go ahead and make something up real quick. So if I had a little bit more time, then I could spend on just laying it out a little bit nicer, but for the purposes of showing you how to do this, I will just go ahead and have this and then do another save for web. Again, it's Command-Option-Shift-F. Give it a second to load. I'll save this as Splash. We currently only have one size for the iPad, so as long as you make it that size, it'll work fine. And as before on the phone, I'll hide that logo and just have a nice background image as soon as it saves. save that as my background. So once that's done saving, I can go back to the platform and upload them. I'll upload my background and hit save. So now I have all my assets ready for my iPad version of my app. And again, you can check them out. Just make sure they uploaded okay by clicking the link. Do we have any other questions?
We have another question asking about Android tablets. Do you have to upload anything special for that?
Currently, we do not support Android tablets. So our platform is not optimized for any Android tablet at the moment. So you don't have to worry about that.
Do you guys have any more questions? All right, if you guys don't have any more questions, we'll go ahead and end it here. We thank you so much for joining us on today's webinar. Please do join us again on October 7th, where we'll be discussing designing apps in our new updated platform, MobileSmith version 4.0. We'll discuss the new look and feel and some of the new additions that have been added to the platform and some of the changes that were made aesthetically and where you can find all your favorite features. So please do join us for that webinar on October 7th. We will be sending out a recording of this webinar to your email, so please do look for that. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. You have a great day, and thank you so much.